Travis Kelce wants to make that little bit of money before he has to retire. But I don't know why he needs it. He just got a $100 million contract with his podcasting. We all know what Jason Kelce's doing. He's making money here, hand over fist. Anything he's got his hands dipped in Taylor Swift's vagina. I mean, seriously. Whatever money he can pull in that his brother is pulling in or helping him pull in with endorsements and sponsorships because of Taylor Swift is absolutely working. These guys are making tons and tons of money for the old Swiftie Woodle. But right now, I look at this situation. Travis Kelce is far and along away from what he was over the last 5 seasons. That doesn't mean Travis Kelce can't play. Travis Kelce, if you look at his numbers last year for a tight end, are pretty damn good. 97 catches, 823 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He would have had if he had 7 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns, that would have been a fine season. He's not averaging 1,000 yards like he's done for a significant part of his career. He's definitely slowing down. He looks a little fatter. He looks a little slower. And you can see that maybe he's just not the same player. Maybe he's not as hungry as he's been over the last 5 seasons. But him coming out and many different people coming out and saying that he wants to play next year and that he's going to be working in the offseason to get back into shape tells me that he is going to try to prove everybody wrong. The only thing is, how much does your shape help you get that one step that you're missing or you missed over the last season? That's a significant one step that is lost. You saw it in the playoffs. He's not as dominant as he's been over the years. Now, that doesn't mean that Travis Kelce cannot catch the ball. He still can catch the ball. I think this could go down as one of the best 1-2 punches we've ever seen with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce is the best tight end in playoff history, even better than Gronkowski if you look at his numbers. He's a bona fide Hall of Famer like his brother. The only thing that tells me right now why he shouldn't is, what does he have to prove? He's won enough Super Bowls. He's won 3 of them. He doesn't need any more. I know he wants to win that 4th. He wanted to win the consecutive 3 in a row, which now he's fallen short. There's no reason for him to come back. Now, I know he likes camaraderie, and like Tom Brady came out and said that he loves the locker room. He loves hanging out with the boys. But if you're not as hungry and you're not as good as you once were, why go out there and embarrass yourself more? And I'm not saying he will. But if I was a Travis Kelce fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan, do I want to see $19.8 million go into a player that is not really going to take you to that next level, where you can take that money and maybe use that to go after a Tyreek Hill if he becomes available? That would make more sense if I was the organization, I was running the organization or an owner of that organization. I just think it's a big mistake if they decide to really roll with this and actually Travis Kelce doesn't take a pay cut of $19.8 million, because it hurts them next year in the cap. It hurts them for going after a wide receiver or even another tight end or another offensive option that they're lacking. This team and this roster is practically set in stone. If Travis Kelce is going to go back with 19 and making $19.8 million, just think about it. Is this team good enough to get to the Super Bowl again? I think Buffalo is going to be a little bit better next year. I think obviously there are other teams in the AFC, the Chargers, that are going to absolutely get better from what they had last year. They didn't have a number 1 wide receiver. Now, watch what Justin Herbert's going to do with Jim Harbaugh with a wide receiver, drafts or brings in a free agent wide receiver or 2. I just think there's a lot of other teams right now that are young and up and coming than the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to say this, and anybody that watches football would know this. Tom Brady won 3 Super Bowls. And then after he won those 3 Super Bowls, the next time he won a Super Bowl was 7 years later. Look at Kelce. And look at Patrick Mahomes. They've won 3 of them. When you look at the numbers don't bode well for the Kansas City Chiefs. As good as Patrick Mahomes is and Andy Reid is right now as a head coach, I just think there's a significant amount of problems that this team has that they need to fill in. And this defense, they're, again, going to have to go and spend a lot of money when it comes to their secondary. McDuffie is going to be looking for another big contract either this offseason or next. This guy's one of the best corners in the league. He was an all-pro player last year, and maybe not as good as he was last year, maybe because Snead was on team, because he went to free agency. But this team has a lot of holes to fill and a lot of money that's invested into him and Jones. I think it's going to hurt them more than it's going to benefit them.